Hi guys, today I'm gonna tie a perfect layer shrimp. And the materials I'm gonna use is STF dubbing, some Crystal Tech beading thread, mallard for mouth parts, Crystal Flash for feelers, and some thin skin. This one's from Pro Sportfisher in Denmark. I think Vapsi has one too, for the shell. And that's about it. The hook I'm gonna use is Partridge CS54 saltwater shrimp, favorite of mine. So let's go. I'm using a transparent mono thread for this fly because it's the only thread that I can tie in the legs of the shrimps without changing the angle and stuff like that. So we just start up and fasten the thread on the hook shank. First up, we'll start with some weight on the belly of the fly because we want it to be balanced in the water. This is a self-adhesive lead sheet, really easy to work with. Just stick it on, fasten it with some thread wraps, pull off, and take the remaining and put it on again. Now we have a keel that will balance the fly, and as you see, it doesn't build much on the hook shank. Shrimps are pretty small, so that's what we're gonna imitate here. Mallard, this one is in golden olive or green drake or something like that. Tie it in and then gently pull it back. First up, I'm gonna tie in a trigger point with the STF Salmon, just a small bunch. And for this fly, we're dubbing it loosely because we want to brush out some of the fibers in the end here. So we're dubbing it loosely and making a small foundation for the first pair of legs. And we're actually going to tie in the legs in the middle of this little dubbing ball or foundation, whatever. I'm just taking the transparent thread and I've prepared legs for this fly, but I'll show you how I do. I'll just make a simple knot, pull it gently together, and before I fasten it, I moisten it with some spit, saliva, and then I pull hard, and that's it. This way you're gonna get a joint and then a pretty nice bend on the leg here. And the trick to tie in these legs are to place them and measure up the length you want, and then you pinch them down with your fingernail. In that way you can, if you pull your nail up or down, or you can change the angle of the leg. Then make 2 wraps, and now my leg is pointing a little bit outward, so I can just twist this end and make it point a little bit more inwards, and then adjust the placement, and then just pull the thread and fasten it and make another wrap. That's it. Make sure to just pull the legs and see if the joints are aligned. I don't think the fish cares, but a fisherman does, so it's always fun to tie a fly that looks nice. Cut off the excess. Then just gently brush the STF. I'm just taking a bunch of STF and pulling the fibers apart and aligning them so it becomes pretty aligned and tapered. I'm going to tie in this bunch in the middle, right behind the orange, like that. And now you can tie in some feelers, or some guys use a few strands of craft fur. I'm just using a crystal flash on this one. This is an orange, fluorescent orange. Gives the fly a pretty nice look in the water. Tying in one end on my side of the hook, and then the other end on the opposite side. And this is optional for y'all, but you can take the loop and just fold it over and secure it with some wraps. And then just cut it in half, make 2 shorter feelers. This way you have 2 long and 2 short feelers. And if you don't want feelers, or if you just want a pair of long or short feelers, it's up to you. I don't think the fish care actually. Fold the rest of the STF over and secure it. So this is the head. Now it's time for the eyes. But first we have to make a little foundation to support the eyes. I'm taking a sparse of the dubbing. I'm ripping it apart because I don't want so long fibers. We just want to make them short, so when we brush out these fibers later, they won't tangle up with the legs. Now we got the foundation of for the eyes. Now you can take whatever eye you like to use. I'm using the Easy Shrimp Eyes. They're already aligned, and they're really convenient to work with. You can of course use some homemade eyes if you want. It takes a little bit longer, but you can adjust it more if you like. But ever since these eyes came out, I've been using them, and I like to use them because they're convenient and easy to work with. So I'm just going to tie them in. Position them. You can adjust the placements while you work with the fly. I think that's a good placement for the eyes. I'm cutting off this little plastic part because I don't want to build up so much volume on this fly, on the back of the fly at least. So cut it off, secure it. And when I use mono thread, or whenever I use these eyes, I always put on some super glue. This one's from Braid Zap. No, I mean Zap-A-Gap. To secure the eyes. Make sure they don't fall off. So, now for the next pair of legs. And as we did with the orange STF, we're going to make a little foundation for the legs with some ripped apart STF. A bit loosely. You know what? I forgot one thing, a crucial thing actually. Good thing I remembered it. We have to have some ribbing on this fly. And I'm just using plain mono. Just push the dubbing down a bit. Tie it in on the side facing away from you. And that way you will get a straight wrap when you wrap this up. Just secure it here on the holder. Same thing here. Position the leg, then pinch it down with your finger. Take some more Crystal Tech or whatever beading thread you like. Just pull out like 30-35 centimeters, 10 inches or something like that. cut it off, and then cut it in half again. You'll have 2 strands. Fold the strand to tie in. We're gonna make the back fins of the shrimp with this. So we're just folding it and making a little loop, then tie it in. This is also a detail that I don't think the fish cares about, but I just love it. Place this above the fly and pull on the elastic thread. Keep it in position, and then now we have to use all of our fingers. This is a tricky and time-consuming part of this fly, and I know a lot of guys don't tie these flies because they're so complicated to tie, and I can agree with them, because it is, especially when you want to make it perfect. Gently pull the thin skin, and make sure when you rip between the legs that you make the wrap in the middle of the space, because when you can always loosen the ribbing a bit and pull here, because if you come too close to the legs when you wrap the ribbing, you will actually change the positioning or the alignment of the legs. And for each wrap, just give the shell a slight pull. Next time I will use a longer piece of mono, because this is becoming too short to work with it. Here I'm just folding the shell back, and then I'm putting some wraps around the ribbing first, and then I just pull it up to secure it. We're going to secure this one with some UV glue from Rayzap, but you can obviously use any UV glue you like. I think the Rayzap glue is first class. It's really good. It's hard. It's totally tack free and easy to work with. Here, cut off the excess. I did something with the back fins here, so I'm just gonna like that. You don't have to tie off the fly or whip finish it, because this UV glue is so hard to secure it. Before you cure the glue, just support the fins so they don't glide or anything. So the last thing, we're almost finished. Now we have to take the feelers here, using dubbing needle, and take the two outer feelers strands. These are going to make the front pair of legs, and these two are going to make a couple of feelers, or just cut them off if you want. Make them short. So the trick here is now to make yet another knot with the elastic thread. Take your dubbing needle and just position the knot where you like it to be. And make a loose knot, and then just let go of the leg to see how it bends and behaves. I think that's pretty alright. And just moisten the knot and give it a hard pull. The same thing on this side. Now we have all our legs, some feelers, I like to support these feelers with some UV glue. Now if you want, you can put a small drop here, fold over the shell, put a small drop here. Use a thick resin because it doesn't float out or float into the material, it just lays there. Fold over the shell. Now you can pull up and just give it a cure. I like to give the shell a little coating with some UV glue also, just to protect the ribbing and give it a hard back shell. Now I'm just gonna cut the legs to the length I want them. I'm taking the opposite pair of legs, hold them down like this. This way I get equally long legs. Each pair will be equally long. I'm making the front legs a little bit longer and then just shorter and shorter. So I made the coloring and I'm just gonna brush out some of the dubbing here. I'm just using a wooden stick with some Velcro on it. You can of course use whatever you want to brush. Just if you have some long fiber, just rip them off. Thing is, when the fly gets wet, all of this is going to be translucent, transparent, and that's the way shrimp looks. There you go.